Hi, I'm Laura Custo, and this is Light the Way, where spirituality meets practicality. Each week, I show you how to use the moon's energy to plan your life and achieve your goals in as little as 5 minutes each week. Integrating spirituality can be easy, and it's so much better than any goal setting system out there. It's less stressful, it's less work, and less force. It's all flow. All right, let's dig in. So, this is the week of February 2nd through the 8th, 2025. And what I want to do this week is I want to talk about the arc of the week. Okay. So, Sunday, February 2nd, we start this week in still somewhat of a reflective mood from the Aquarius New Moon on January 29th. So, really, Sunday the 29th, all I would say is if you have not written down your new moon intentions yet, that is the day to do it. Okay. So, that's how you should spend Sunday. But starting on the 3rd, we're getting into this first quarter moon energy. The first quarter happens on Wednesday, the 5th. It's happening at 1:02 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. And that is the energy that will be with us all the way through Sunday. So, or rather Saturday. That's the 8th. So, first quarter energy is action oriented. This is one of those weeks where the moon is guiding you and supporting you to putting yourself out there and making some things happen for yourself. We get 1 week each month to nudge our dreams along, so to speak. And this week is it. Okay. So, this first quarter on Wednesday is happening in the sign of Taurus. And each first quarter builds on a new moon that started a story a while back. Okay. All new moons start stories, whether we're conscious of them or not. And we'll get into that here in a minute. So, for this particular first quarter, it's related to the new moon that happened back on May 7th, 2024. Okay. Which was also in Taurus. That's why they're related. So, starting as early as Monday, the 3rd, you're going to want to just look back to that time, that week of May 7th, for some clues. Namely, I would say, what were you dreaming? What were your thoughts? What was your self-talk? I mean, if you kept a new moon journal and you wrote one down, great, but not everybody does when they're getting into this, and you start your new moons when you start working with this energy, but then you get to some of these other moon phases that require you look back, and some people wonder what to do. I'm like, okay, well, here's what you do if you didn't keep a new moon journal. You look back in your emails, you look at your camera roll, maybe social media posts, your calendar. Try to take yourself back to that moment in time and think about what was going on. And like, what were you thinking? Were you in a really good mood? Were things great? Was your attitude? Check in with what your attitude was back then. Were you putting out high vibration, like my life's going to be great type of energy to the universe? Or were you stuck in a negative pattern, maybe some negative self talk? Because those will give you clues for this week and what you may want to do with this energy, okay? So now I mentioned that this is happening in Taurus. And the fact that they're in the same sign, first quarter this week in Taurus, the new moon back in Taurus, is why they are related, precisely why they are related, and why we're looking back to that time. Now, in everyone's chart, Taurus will oversee an area of life. And when you consciously work with the moon phases and focus in on the area of life that is being supported, that's where the magic happens. So, and I just want to say that pinpointed guidance is what you get in Moon Chat. And it's not just the dates that we're talking about here that I give you those too. But Moon Chat also tracks the area of life that's being supported for you every single week. So when I talk about the arc, for example, I mentioned Sunday is the time to wrap up those first quarter intentions in Aquarius. Well, for a Sagittarius rising person, that means that their new moon in Aquarius is focused on their third house of communication. It's focused on communication and analysis in their life. Now, moving into the first quarter, it's going to be focused on their health and wellness. Okay, so that's what you get in Moon Chat. If you'd like to try it out, go on over to my website, lauracusto.com, pop in your information, and I'll send you a free 14-day trial. Okay, so once you have an idea of what dreams you may have set in motion, and again, this area of life that I'm talking about is where it like turbocharges and supercharges this whole process. When you're starting out, it's okay to look in sort of general ways. That's okay. But anyway, let's go back. You want to look back to that week, May 7, 24, see what you set in motion, and then you want to check in with what's happening now, this week of February 5th, okay? And this week's about taking action. I mentioned that as at the start. And really, if I could just play the moon, okay? We'll have a little fun with this. Here is what the moon is saying to you this week. It's something along the lines of this. It's going like, hey, you got to help me out here. You said you had these dreams back in May. Well, what are you going to do about it? I mean, are you serious about those dreams? Because if you are, I need you to get some skin in the game. I need you to commit. Because you said, for example, let's say you said you wanted to get promoted at work. Well, have you signed up for that continuing ed class yet? Or have you volunteered to take on any special projects? You know, and hey, back on that new moon, I know it was right after you broke up with that last boyfriend of yours, but at that time you said you were going to be single forever. So, you know, since then I've been energetically sending you men that would never want a long-term commitment because that's what you said you wanted, or that's what you said was going to happen. You said you were going to be single forever. Like that guy you've been seeing for a few weeks? Yeah, I'm not sure though. You don't seem very happy. Why did you say you wanted to be single forever? It doesn't seem to make you very happy. Okay, so I'm making this up, but imagine this is your life, okay? And or replace those scenarios with two things in your life. One that you want that is not happening, and one that you don't want that is happening, okay? This is the week to completely redirect these trajectories, okay? First, with that thing that you want. Let's go back to that promotion. A first quarter is the precise time, and you only get 12 first quarters a year. Only 12. It's the precise time of the month to raise your hand for a special project, to sign up for that class and expand your skills. It is the time when you take committed action towards your dream. Period. Okay? Second, it's also a time to end the things and correct the messages that you've been sending to the universe. Okay, so if you've been dating someone and it isn't a full body yes, the first quarter is the time to end it. And then also, I would say take some outward action towards what you do want. Maybe you cancel that subscription to that crappy dating app that's giving you all these poor choices. Or maybe you sign up for a life coaching course to help call in a love that you want. Okay? Both would be excellent messages to send the universe as well, not to mention, as well as just wonderful ways to love yourself. Okay? So bottom line, this week, you want to take action. These quarter moons are not a time to stay in our comfort zone. Last quarter will be in a couple weeks from now. It's another action oriented, but it's different. So, but that's the thing. They are not a time to stay in our comfort zone. They are a time for us to participate in co-creating our life. And I know that can seem scary, getting out of your comfort zone, but rest assured, I'm not just making this up. This is science. The moon is in an angle where it wants you to do this. It's emotionally supporting you, okay? The moon has your back. All right, now there are also a couple more helpful energies at play this week. And this is so exciting because as we do these outward things on the first quarter, it can be really nice to know what's going on and what other planets have our back, right? I said the moon has your back, but guess what? Specifically this week, there are two helpful energies from two planets, and the two planets are the two benefics, the two most well-meaning planets that we have, Venus and Jupiter. These are the planets that bestow love and abundance on us, okay? So let me tell you what's going on. And these things are both happening on Tuesday the 4th. And what they do is they involve a redirection of Jupiter and then a sign change for Venus. And so the redirection of Jupiter is kind of like it's gonna be moving this direction now for the next couple months. So these are energies, and Venus will be in this new sign for at least the next few weeks. So this is good. These energies are gonna be with us for a while. So okay, first, Jupiter's been retrograde. And on Tuesday the 4th, it turns direct again, okay? It's been retrograde since October 9th, 2024. Now, retrograde, what does this mean? It's when the planets appear to be moving backwards in the sky relative to our position here on Earth. Okay, for example, if you imagine that you're in a car and you are passing another car on the road, when you're at the point where you're side by side with the other car, you've probably noticed this. It's going to appear for at least a short period of time that that other car you're passing is going to be moving backwards. Okay? Then as you get far enough away from the car, you can see that it is indeed still moving forwards, right? That is the phenomenon of retrograde, okay? It's the same thing. We're just planets moving up in the sky and we're also moving here on Earth, okay? So Jupiter has had this appearance since October 9th, all right? Now, Jupiter represents expansion. It's higher mind, big picture thinking, philosophies, higher education, worldly and universal awareness, and ultimately, it is seeking truth. And so, in this time that it's been in retrograde, we have been asked to reflect on these things in our life, our philosophies, our deepest truth, our beliefs, our worldly awareness, okay? And we've been asked to question what is really true for us and what do we really believe in, okay? So it's also a time when we can overcommit ourselves, or we can potentially get ourselves into things that we don't want if we aren't careful. And so, with it moving direct again, we'll have the opportunity to take what we've learned and realized since October and move forward. And so, if you've gotten into something that you don't want, this first quarter on February 5th is the perfect time because Jupiter is now solidly moving forward again. So, it's a great time to use that moon energy in support of taking action, but Jupiter's of recorrecting some of these things. It's going to literally be going back over the positions that it was in the sky relative to us. So it's a great time to correct and redirect anything in your life that's headed in the wrong direction. All right. Now Venus. So Jupiter's great for that correction. Venus is supporting us to take action, and I'll tell you why. So Venus is what we take pleasure in, and it's moving into Aries, which is the sign of action and assertion. And so when planets switch signs, they kind of have these characteristics, right? Like Venus is pleasure and love, and Mars is action and aggression and assertion, and it can kind of get angry. Like Mars gets things done, Venus enjoys life. Jupiter is like, hey, what's going on here? And like, what's for the good of all? Saturn is kind of looking at things like, what are the rules? We need to follow the rules. If we follow the rules, we'll get results, right? And Mercury's always analyzing and communicating everything, okay? So with Venus moving into Aries, Aries is ruled by Mars. They say Venus doesn't love to be in Aries. It's not really where it's at home. That's fine. But with Venus in Aries, the way I interpret that is Venus is going to find a way to make taking action pleasureful, okay? It is going to help you take action in a loving way. So I think that this is so lovely and so supportive for if we have to take, if we conclude that the action that we want to take could ruffle some feathers, or it could be hard for some other people to digest. Think about Venus. Think about Venus, this planet of love and compassion and pleasure in Aries. And Venus, that Venusian energy now, this starting on the 4th of February, is ask for its help. Say, Venus, help me. Help me find a way to take action and to be assertive and get this done. You don't want to sort of, half-heartedly do anything here. You want to get it done, but you want to send a clear and loving message, okay? So again, I just love these Jupiter and Venus energies for this first quarter. So this is such a good one, okay? So to summarize, I want to summarize the flow of the week and that arc again. So Sunday, we're still in that new moon. If you haven't written your new moon intentions down, write them down. It's a time when you write down your dreams and write them down as if they've already happened, okay? Then starting Monday and all the way through Saturday the 8th, we are in this first quarter taking action energy. You only get 12 first quarters a year. So don't let this pass you by. It's a great opportunity to do your part and move your dreams along. Let the universe know what you're serious about, okay? Now, again, you want to look back to May 7th, 2024 for clues as to what you set in motion and clues, but then compare to your life now. So what tie-ins do you see between that date, that week then, and what's happening now? And then you're going to want to start to think about how you can take action, and then this week, take action, okay? Now, it's important that you literally do make some sort of a bold move, a committed outward action. Because when you interact with other people and things, that makes it real. And that's more powerful. That's a more powerful energetic signature than just saying you're going to do something but not actually doing it. Okay. So that's why what I mean by committed action. And then, of course, just to summarize that arc again, those Venus and Jupiter energies, the Venus energy about, making the hard things pleasurable and with love, and then that correcting the things that might have gone wrong, those are active as of Tuesday. So this is, again, so great. So, regardless, know that with this week, what you are doing when you take action is you're signaling to the universe that this is what you want. Not that. I'm committing to this here and now. This is what I want. Okay. All right. With that, I really hope this has been helpful. Thank you so much for watching. And if something resonated with you, or if you have any questions, I'd love to hear from you. Please leave me a comment or a review. And if you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like this video, and share it with your friends. And until next week, I wish you well on this Taurus first quarter. Get on out there and commit. Take that next step that brings you one step closer to your dreams.